What's going on, everybody? Another episode of 4x4 Camping and Adventures, and it's been a long time between drinks because I have been busy camping. In this new bad boy with a bit of movie magic, watch this. That's right, Rooftop Tent is on. 30-second awning's on, the shower awning and all that kind of stuff is on as well. And we've done some more stuff with the 12-volt system. But in this video, let's take you through the new mods to the Ranger. Let's get Here we are in the rooftop tent. So it's pretty standard affair in here. Most rooftop tents are very, very similar. This does have a few added features for the price range. So I did get the influencers discount on this. So I paid $1,000 for this rooftop tent from Rugged Rooftops. They approached me actually on TikTok and said, hey, do you want to go with a one of our rooftops? I said, yep. I'm pretty keen to give a rooftop a go. These guys, essentially two guys in Perth, that have started an importing business. Obviously, these are imported from China, as most rooftops are now. But for the quality side of things, I don't think you can actually beat the price. I think these are around, I'll give you the price up on the screen, I'll give you the wrong price, but yeah, they're pretty cheap for like what you actually get. So you've got LED strips in here as well, which run off a power bank. So just behind me here, there's a little power bank that runs all the LED strips. You've got a remote control, so you can turn it on at camp if you want to. So have it all set up so you can turn it on at camp. You've got these pockets here, obviously fit iPads or whatever you want to do. So what I've done a couple of times is put the iPad in there and just watch a few movies as we go to sleep and that kind of thing. But I've actually slept in this a couple of times now. So I've slept in it 3 times. So Welly Dam, which was in the rain. I've slept in Albany in the rain. And when I say Albany in the rain, it was bucketing down. And I've also slept in it in the Blackwood River. And so far, I've had no water ingress. It's been very, very good, very comfortable. 50mm mattress, high density. It's also got the condensation mat underneath the mattress as well, which is all as per, you know, don't have to buy anything extra. It's all built in. And as I said, it's just a super comfortable place to be. Really easy to set up, felt inside. It's just very, very nice. You can see, obviously, they put all the ceiling around all the areas that are going to allow a little bit of water in if there was any. But as I said, it's been pretty good. But, you know, it is one of those things I'm going to, you know, keep an eye on, because rooftop tents over time can be prone to leakages and that kind of stuff. But as I said, so far so good. Haven't had any dramas in this one. It's been very, very good, very comfortable. And I'm actually getting really used to this whole rooftop life. It's I never thought I'd give away the swag. I really do love my Ranger swag. It's really comfortable. But the way I look at it now is I'm trying to make the setup very, very simple. So as you can see with this Ranger, I haven't gone out and put any fancy sort of crazy, you know, multi-$1,000 stuff on it. It's all very basic gear. As you probably saw in the rear setup, I just got some drawers from BCF. But very, very basic setup. So when I get to camp, I can put this up. I've got all my cooking stuff on the back of the ute and I'm ready to go. So yeah, it's fitting into that whole theme very well. And I suppose not new style of camping. I've always been very simple when I've gone camping, but I think I've sort of taken to the next level of keeping things very basic. Basic is better. And basic is lighter, which is a big theme for this car, is trying to keep it light. This is only 65 kilos. So this whole tent, obviously minus the sleeping bag and all that kind of stuff, but the actual tent itself is 65 kilos with everything you see here. So pretty good weight, and that was one of the other reasons that I went with these guys. It was one of the lightest on the market. So it's only 16 millimeters, so it's super thin. So the actual profile on the car doesn't sort of bulk up. It doesn't look like this big hanging off the roof. So obviously with that, there's a few sort of drawbacks. You can't, leave your pillows and stuff in here. But you know what? I'll just leave the pillows in the back seat, so it's not a big drama. You chuck them in when you set up, so an extra 30 seconds to get it all sorted. But it is a proper 60-second. Put it up, put your awning out, and you're good to go. Put your ladder on the side, and you're good to go. So it is a proper 60-second setup. And I can't wait to actually use this in summer. So when I say summer, I want to park up at the beach because you go for beach days and go down the beach and that kind of stuff. Park this up and just sit up here and chill and watch the water and that kind of stuff on a hot summer's day because you get all the breeze and that kind of stuff coming through as well. So I'm pretty keen for that. But this is the new rooftop. As I said, it's a rugged rooftop. I can give you a discount. So as a part of the whole deal, I could give you guys a discount, 5% off 4x4 CAA 5. That'll get you 5% off if you're keen on one of these. But have a look, see if it's right for you, and make that decision. So, but as I said, you can get 5% off. But let's keep on having a look at the mods, and we'll check out what I've done with the rear drawer setup. I do love this bit of the canopy. Do love it. So, rear drawer setup. Now at the moment, this is all work in progress. There is nothing finalised here, but for starters, I just got myself an XTM rear drawer from BCF. Pretty standard affair. Comes with the pull-out table, that kind of stuff. You would have seen it on heaps of cars. It's really popular, especially in like the forward driving world. It's pretty good for the price. This was only like $350. It does everything I need it to do. Stores all my stuff. As I said, when I went camping to the Welly Dam and the Blackwood, it did everything I needed to do. On top here, I've actually got a Mike Coleman fridge, 69-litre fridge freezer. That's going to be part of this setup. So I'm going to use this to, do as my fridge slide. So that's nice and easy. And the other thing I'm thinking is chucking another one here. And then I've got another idea around this side, which I'm not 100% confirmed on, but I'm pretty much there. This side is actually going to turn into a full pantry. So on this window, as you open up, I'm actually going to make an enclosure that's going to allow me to have a full pantry on the side of the car. So all your plates and all that kind of stuff can be stored up here. This dead space down here, I'm actually going to make a space for my dual hyperflame burner, so that can go in there. The tent legs and all that kind of stuff, the ladder and that kind of thing can go down there, and a few other things, but that's going to be sort of not wasted space. And then behind the drawers, I'm going to put a water tank, which I took out of the Patrol, my 40-litre Ironman water tank. I'm going to put in the back there so I can have onboard water. And at the moment, I'm just using a air compressor, but I'm eventually going to have onboard air in here. So there's a few things you can do with these ranges. You can have it set up in the rear or set up in the front. I might set it up in the front so it runs off the cranking battery. In the Patrol, I used to have it running off the secondary battery, which is fine. It never caused any dramas. But because the car is running, obviously when you got the compressor going, I might have it coming off the cranking battery because I'm thinking about going a twin ARB, and I'm pretty sure they pull in like 80 amps or something stupid when they're going. So I might have that coming off the cranking battery. But got a couple of lights in there, which you would have seen in the intro, and all the rest of it's pretty much stock standard as you would have seen it last time. But as I said, 2 of these, which is just going to give me my nice simple drawer. And then I'm going to put a false floor with a cutout for the fridge. So it's all going to be flat. And then obviously the water tank and that kind of stuff is going to be behind it. I'm going to have an area so I can obviously put my treads and that kind of stuff. I'm actually thinking about bolting the treads onto the rear of the tub, just so they're out of the way and they don't sort of slide around. And as I said, on this side here is going to be a full pantry and areas, obviously, where I can install some the dual burner cooker and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Dust ingress has been a thing, I suppose, always on my mind when you put these canopies on. It's actually been pretty good. I haven't actually noticed any dust getting in so far, which is really, really good. It has been winter, so it hasn't been as dusty as normal. So I haven't actually been down some like bull dust roads or anything like that yet. But I'll keep reporting obviously as it comes. But I'm going to get the kit that allows me to pretty much seal the back of this car. And they're really good with these cars now. I've seen the kit and they're very, very thorough. But yeah, dust ingress has been fantastic. And as I said, this canopy's been awesome so far. I haven't had any dramas with it. It's always opened up when I wanted to do. yeah, it's just a really nice canopy to deal with every day. So yeah, let's jump into the next mod I've done to the car, which may may or may not cause a few stirs in the comments maybe. So if you have a keen eye, you may have noticed my wheels have come out a little bit. So I got in touch with a bloke in Perth who obviously makes wheel spacers and that kind of thing. These are billet aluminium cut out with the exact perfect, I think they're called centrifugal hub or whatever it's called for the Rangers. So it's all designed and bolted on for this particular car. So it's not just sort of some eBay off the shelf crap. It's actually been designed and built for this car. So they're a 30mm offset. So the idea I had originally was I was going to put some rims on the car, but with the forward driving that I do, these rims that you put on these cars, they just get flogged out pretty quick. Like my ROH Invaders that I had on the patrol, I actually creamed them in the first time I went off-roading. I got them on a rock and they just got grounded out and they looked horrible. So I had to actually put that wheel on the spare, and then I was always really cautious, like, oh, I'm going to smash my rims up and it's going to look horrible for day to day. So I decided to keep with the standard rims, and what I'm actually going to do is go for a 285/65 on an 18. So I was going to put 18s on it anyway, or I could go a 17 if I wanted to, but so it's going to be that size. So essentially I'm going to go like a 32.6, I think it is, for the actual new sizing, which is going to give it a little bit more footprint and obviously give me a little bit more height, which is good. But this is still on the stock suspension, so it should all fit without any dramas. But the reason I came out is the upper control arm of these cars is really close to the top of the wheel from factory, and it was going to hit if I put a 285 in there. Otherwise I'd have to go a 30 plus offset rim or a 35 plus offset rim, which was then going to bring it out to pretty much where we are now. And it hasn't been too bad. I haven't had any dramas. These have been on there for like 2 months now, so no issues. I've been forward driving with them. As I said, they've been all bolted up and they've been torqued up and spec to the manufacturer specifications, so no real dramas. But it does give it a bit more stance, which is pretty cool. And if you're actually a really keen eye, you might have noticed at the front there, the fog lights have had a little DRL indicator. So I got that purely just to make it a little bit different from all the other Ford Rangers out there, because there's thousands of these things on the road. So I got a little DRL there that goes on the park lights, and they turn on when the main car turns on with the accessories. So yeah, I got them from Panel House, was the mob I bought them from. About 198 bucks for the set. And there's like a little fuse kit that goes into the factory fuse, and you just run it through there, and it's all very, very simple. And obviously just run the cable through to the two park lights. So yeah, just something different, make it look a little bit different to all the other Ford Rangers. Now, there might be a situation here where I may need to get a slimline set of flares if I put the new tyres on there, because they're going to be a little bit wider than these. So I'll just have to keep an eye on that, because obviously legalities of your tyre poke coming out of the car. At the moment, I'm pretty much on the limit, which is fine. But if I put a little bit of a wider tyre on there, I might be just poking out a bit too much, so I might have to put a flare on it. But I'll probably just get some color-coded slimline flares if that sort of comes down to it. But as I said, it's just to make the bigger tyres fit when I eventually put some all-terrains on it. But for now, obviously, I'm pretty happy with these tyres. They're doing what they need to do. They're getting me out there, and I'm going forward driving, so that's not a big stress. But along the track, eventually, I'm going to have to do this anyway, so I decided to do it now. But yeah, let's jump on to the next mod. So you might notice this little guy down here. This is essentially the 12-volt panel that you can put into the tub. So it uses the factory location where there's not an Anderson plug, a cigarette plug, and makes it all to what we got here. So there's a couple of switches, there's a couple of Anderson plugs that I can run for power for the fridge when I get the fridge, and there's an outlet there, a little hole there for you can run your air compressor hose. So it's all pretty simple, pretty neat, tidy. It all fits into the factory location, and I just think it's one of those things that if you got one of these cars, this gives you a really good location for all your 12-volt into the rear. It's nice, neat, tidy. There's no cables going anywhere, so that's why I did it. And yeah, that just connects into the secondary battery, which is behind the seat. So you would have seen in my 12-volt video where I showed you how to install the 12-volt into this car. I ran a cable, some 6mm, down to this guy here, which powers everything in there. I put a little relay box behind it, so everything's on a relay and everything's on a fuse. And I shouldn't say relay box, everything's on a fuse, sorry. And everything obviously here is fused. So if I have the fridge, any dramas with that, it's all going to be sort of, yeah, out of it. All I'm going to do is take this panel off, check the fuse box, and go from there. So Yeah, a pretty cool little pretty cool bit of kit. I think they're about $250 off the top of my head. This is the full fruit, so it comes with the switches. You can get a bare bone one if you want to chuck your own switches in it. Bit of a plug to those guys. I've got no affiliation with them. They just make pretty cool products for the Ranger, and they've got a few other things, like they've got a two-way aerial mount that I'm going to use, and a few internal mounts and accessories that I'm going to fit for the car. So, but there's heaps of stuff that they sell. So jump on their website, have a gander. But as I said, I'm not affiliated with them. I just promote good products when I see them, and they're Australian made, which is even better. So personally, I think she's looking pretty damn good. It needs some tyres. I know that it needs some tyres. All four drives look better with like muddies, all trains on them. But rooftop tent, we got the lighting at the front. You got the 30-second awning. I didn't take you through that because it's a 30-second awning. You've seen it being put up a million times. As I said, you got the shower awning on the other side, so that's going to go in with the whole water setup in the back, and I've got the Dracula hot water system that I can take with me, so that's all going to work really well. And as I said, the whole car is just coming up so neat. I'm really happy with how it's coming together. And yeah, as I said, there's some few little things that I want to do just to change, obviously, how the rooftop tent is mounted to the canopy. I'm going to get a flat tray and just obviously have it mounted to that. It's going to give you a bit more perch on where the rooftop sits. So it sort of has a bit of an overhang over the car, which I've used at the moment, just a bar to support it. But it lets a few noises come into the cab when I'm going down like rough roads. So I'm going to get rid of that and have a bit of a bigger tray on the back. So the rooftop's got more perch where it can sit on, and I can bolt it directly to the Max Liner top roof mounts that are onto the canopy. So that'll be all in the future. But for now, it's an epic setup. I'm really happy with it. I'm out there camping. I'm actually using it. So that's the main thing. I can actually go camping and get out there and start frothing it again. But that's been another episode of 4x4 Camping and Adventures. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry for the big gap between the two videos. I'm not going to bring out videos unless I've got something to show you. And as I said, I thought in this video I've got enough to show you that's going to be a little bit different to the previous video. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. If I don't see you out in the tracks and trails, I shall see you later. Have a great Sunday and be safe. Bye.